Hey guys, and welcome to another Dev Hangout. It's been a while since the last one. Needless to say, we've been busy in that duration. We have got patch 0.3.5 due for launch within the next few days. What we've done for that patch is really take a look at balancing. So 0.3.4, we changed some of the core mechanics, and that disrupted all of the balancing, so we've taken time out and redone all of that. We have also changed the way that research works, so that is now more immediate, I will say. So it's not based on deliveries to the building, it is actually sort of progress based. You just pay your gold and it progresses the research. What I do want to mention is the fact that this is the experimental build that we're showing off. I think the vast majority of players will still be on the public build that is the main version on Steam. For a lot of the active community members actually access the experimental build and use that for testing and provide us with feedback, and it provides us with a safe environment in which we can try new mechanics, we can break things, and hopefully we can find out what those things are before we release to everybody else. So it means that you get a better play experience with each public patch. If you want to access that, just drop onto the Steam community forums, and there is a pinned topic in the main discussion group there that you can find out details of how to access it. It's just an opt-in beta with no password. Okay, so let's crack on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the start of the campaign map, and we're going to take a close look at the balancing. Chat is over on gaming.youtube.com/gamesfoundry, and you'll see the live video at the top there. So if you want to join the chat, then come on over to here. We do also broadcast on Twitch, but we're starting to migrate over onto gaming.youtube.com. Alright, so let's crack on. So new game, and I'll just turn the music down, just drop back into the game. Okay, let's choose the campaign.
Sack the town, men! We're taking the lot! You, girl, where are all the hides from this year's trapping season?
Okay, so what you might have noticed happened there was that when Kenny finished delivering his line, we've actually progressed on to the next part of the conversation. And that's an improvement that we've also made in 0.3.5. It's really for us because we'll be recording voiceover, but also some existing community members have already tackled voice acting. So what that enables us to do is that rather than sort of stop, as you can see here, with each dialogue line and have a continue button, that results in very sort of stilted conversation and doesn't really flow at all. So what we've done is we've made it so that once a piece of dialogue finishes, it will go on to the next piece. So, and we'll see that again now.
Listen, woman, I need those hides!
So at the moment we don't have the lines for Isolde as it is here. I think it changes every one. But once we've actually got those lines in, then we won't have to interrupt any of the flow at all. We can skip dialogue as well if we're in a rush. So if you test the game a million times a week like I do, then you want to skip dialogue, and you can press spacebar to do that, which I will do in this next bit.
Grab the grain from the stores!
And you see that the voice fades out, and then we're back into the conversation. So these continues will eventually go.
Oh, be quiet, you wretched whelp!
Yeah, he's still doing the animation because I've not tweaked that bit.
Take the supplies back to the hideout. You three, take care of the watch.
Okay.
Our town is under attack.
Ready to serve.
Gone wrong. I thought it was wrong.
We shall engage.
Yeah, I might jump back to the previous build because there are some. This is a very latest build that was made like 2 minutes ago, and there's a bug. The game should not start like that. Alright, well, we'll carry on. We'll see where we get to, but there's obviously some bugs that's causing this to go slightly out of order.
Orders
Villagers think our town sucks and are leaving.
What would you have me do?
Let's get that bit. And I just need to set that. Yeah, abandon. Abandon that build. Let's start it again. Let's go back to an older version. So apologies for that. So I'm just going to go back to a version that I know works. So let's go into new game, and I'll be able to skip forward through the dialogue. Now let's take a look at what it should have done.
Sack the town, men! We're taking the lot! Listen! Grab the grain! Oh, be... Take the supplies back. Ready to serve!
Much better. Now, for some reason, the highlight on this, because the way the hardware capture setup works, it seems a little bit sort of grainy, but in the actual game, it's absolutely fine.
How can one suck at fighting so much as
Please load to get on with it. And while we're doing that, I'll drop down
Construction
a
completed.
supply wagon. So there are going to be some differences in this build. So we've done more work in terms of bug fixes and research now. Behaves slightly differently and the UI is better, but unfortunately I can't show you that because that build is not working at the moment as expected. Alright, so let's go over and speak to the mayor and then we can get into it. Okay, so let's just pause this so I can talk about this. I've changed it so that the default level of rationing is 1 times, and for that you get a very small happiness bonus because at the end of the day they're getting that amount of food. Previously they were starting on half. I didn't feel that made much sense because they were still getting a happiness boost, which makes no sense if you're only having half the amount of food. So that has now changed. So you start the game with an overall happiness of 2, and that should lead to new population arriving. We've got 3 more slots here, so we'll let that carry on and we'll see how we get on. Overcrowding, I've disabled that in this build with a view to removing it temporarily and possibly introducing it in very specific cases. So for example, if you're attacked and one of your cottages gets destroyed, you might have, I don't know, 8 population with only room for 5, and in that case you would be suffering from genuine overcrowding. So we may introduce it back into that. Food variety has been fixed in that build that I was starting to play with, and now is based on food items that are in your inventory. Actually, let me just clear this up a little bit. So it will now tally properly. They should get some meat pies to start off with for help. Alright, so let's go ahead now and resume play. So,
what would you have me do?
Something
no,
to do?
not you.
Standing ready.
Yes, army, so I want
little.
you guys
I
foraging
want
because food is
to
a lot more important now.
Yes, me dear.
And then you guys can go and get some wood. Now, right away, we've got needs, not our needs because they've gone, our happiness is flashing, and you can see that we're getting a warning on food and firewood. And if I look in our inventory, I can see that we've got very little food. We've actually only got 1 meat pie left, and we've got no firewood at all at the moment. But we're okay. They're not. It's not red, so they're not angry. Nobody's angry at the moment, and we're not getting any warnings about not enough food. We should get some food. Another change that I've made, so berries, the yield of berries has increased. Previously they would collect 10 berries per visit, now they're collecting 20, because berries are much more important at the very start of the game. Let's have a quick check on chat, make sure I get a chance to answer all the questions. What are the green diamonds for, Glenn?
New villagers have arrived.
Okay, I use them for quest marker. What are the green diamonds? Not sure what you mean by that. Maybe Half-Fox, who is in chat, can answer that. Okay, so yeah, so this is what's changed at the moment. It's saying in 0.3.4, food variety was based on everything that they'd eaten in the last 2 minutes. We've now changed that to be everything that's in your inventory at the point where, well, right now, basically. So at this point, it would be 2 types. So I'm getting a small bonus there because rationing is at normal levels. But you can see food is going out very quickly, so I need to really get a move on.
On my way.
All right, my love.
We'll go ahead and set you to wood. Now, at the moment, there's a slight misbalance in terms of wood, so I'm left waiting a little bit longer than I would like. So I may decrease the cost of some of the very early buildings ever so slightly. Alright, keep another eye. Alright, so they've got some food to eat at least, and I'm not getting any warnings at the moment, so they seem to be getting everything. It looks like we've got some firewood in, yep, and berries. Now, berries really won't last that long. Obviously, the berries, they're small, they don't fill you up very much, so they go very quickly. But we now have enough, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place a fishing hut. And let's cancel you doing what you're doing. You can deliver your firewood. What else are they doing? Your forage, and I'll leave you. Let's get you over, because fish are probably more important. We're fine. Okay, wood is coming in. Definitely no problem with wood.
Building completed.
Okay, and let's go ahead and train 2 fishers. Now, fishing has changed as well, so I'd have to check the statistics. Let me just go ahead now and check that right now, what I've changed it to. Just looking up provisional patch notes. So we've changed it, so they did deliver 15, they now deliver 4 per trip. So we've got 2 in there. I've also tweaked the production rate, so if we go actually into that building now and watch. And I've changed the ratio so that 1 fish now yields 3 salmon steaks. Okay, but as you can see, food, all our berries have gone and fish is kind of low. So let's go ahead. How much gold have we got? 204. I wonder if we've got enough research. Yeah, for research we do. So let's go ahead and we'll start researching bait. This has changed now, so in the latest version it actually darkens these out so they're no longer available. So you can only work. So 1 building can work on 1 piece of research. If you have multiple fishing huts, then they can, I believe, can they contribute to the existing research, or do they have to choose a new one? We'll have to check that actually, because that's obviously going to change with the new method. And these values will go to, say, like research in progress. So there's a bit more UI feedback now in terms of what's going on. As I say, research is now automatic. What that means is that research comes back for the barracks, the storehouse, and the workshop. There's a gold upfront purchase price and a culture level that has to be met, and an indication of the amount of research, although at the moment that's just set at 80. Bring that back. So it's a little bit... previously, what you had to do is you had to wait for each fisher to arrive back with the delivery of fish, and that would progress research by a little amount. Obviously, that led to problems in buildings that didn't have any sort of production. So the buildings that I mentioned, the barracks, the storehouse, and the workshop. So that now solves that problem and makes it a little bit more easy to grasp. It's a lot more transparent because you don't really, it's really obvious what is happening with research. Yeah, so, and I should also say that most research will not do anything in this, in 0.3.5. We will be changing that, we'll be reviewing them all. Like 10% production bonus is not really a lot, so we'll be reviewing all of that. But in terms of the mechanic and getting it working with barracks, storehouse, and workshop, that is now resolved. And we should soon be completing this research. Now, in the very latest build, the one that I couldn't show you, it will actually give you a notification as well. Prior to today, that is never done that on research, so we've now put that in as well, so that is working. And I hear me talking away, and we're getting warnings, so not enough food. Let's go ahead and actually ration them. I'm going to suffer a short-term drop in happiness, but that's okay. And because they're on rations, hopefully we should get rid of them, not enough food. What I will do is let's go ahead and build another cottage and get some more population. So you have to be a little bit more careful with population expansion and when you plan it, because obviously having up to 5 more mouths to feed, they will consume food. And one problem that we had in the previous build was that villagers were spending too much time going around getting basic clothing, mead, and all the different types of food stuff, that they were only spending a very small proportion of their time working, which is no good. So you would end up, as your settlement got larger and your economy got more advanced, then you would lead to this sort of downward spiral because they were working less and less and just spending more time consuming.
Construction completed.
And that would ultimately lead to a downfall. So what we've done is we've actually increased the interval in which they start thinking about food. So they're now able to work a lot more. Okay, so we've got a few people up and running. What I do want though is I want some iron. So we're running low on iron, and we'll soon run low on stone as well. So you can also help out with the iron. At least until we get our iron mine up and running. Alright, so now we are losing population, so this red bar is getting smaller and smaller, or bigger and bigger, I suppose, if you look at it from right to left. And when it gets down to here, we will start losing population, so we really need to do something about that. How much food have we got? 26. Alright, let's put them back onto normal rations now. Okay, so we've got 80 iron ingots, a little delivery of iron ore. We need a little bit more.
Something to do?
Okay, you're going to get a salmon steak. Alright, so I've got 2 fishes on the go, and they're starting to get a decent amount. Oof, they were hungry. Just taking 13. That's a lot of fish.
Find me those hides!
Back. So
ready for battle!
Kenny.
Okay.
Orders received.
So there are a number of ways that you can do this. So one way I tend to do is just cast Iron Skin to give him some defense, and then use Taunt so that Kenny gets all the aggro. And then one of the easiest ways is just focus your attackers on each individual enemy. So Gregory will retain the aggro. And Kenny, a little spoiler alert, so Kenny will usually give in once his buddies have been taken down.
You selfish scum!
Okay, so there goes. Kenny's run off now.
by your leave.
Right, I like to move my guys back into the middle so that I can move in any direction with them. And I've got them hotkeyed, so I use Control+1 to assign them
Standing
to
firm. You call.
my number 1 key, so I can quickly get them, or I can select and move the camera to Sir Gregory just by pressing the F1 key. Another thing that we've done, I think this is actually for the last patch, is that I changed the dampening, or gravity in code, it's called in code, on the camera, so now it stops instantly, so it does it both on the keys like it did before, but also, sorry, no, on the keys is what wasn't behaving consistently before. And then if I want to move more quickly, I can hold down the shift key and I can move at a much greater rate. Alright, how are we doing? Let's quickly just check in on food. With all those mouths to
Our
feed,
village has
I probably need
attracted
to
new
be thinking
settlers.
about getting some of the food up and running. So let's go ahead for fields. Alright, I've got enough for a windmill. Let's drop that in there. And how much wood have we got? Oh, we've got loads of wood. So wood at the moment is definitely not a problem. In fact, we'll fire one of our workers. And they can help build these things. Now, a couple of other bugs that we had. I believe if you set the crop prior to it being constructed, then it could be worked. That's fixed in the latest build. I'll set that back to carrots. And also another bug, see, I've selected the windmill there, and even though I'm in the carrot field, the icons are appearing, so that was also fixed. Alright, let's get another wheat field.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start. Building completed.
Yeah, this crate over here
Construction completed.
has food in it, but I don't want it to use it at the moment. Alright, so let's get
Petal. Be right there, darling. Yes, my dear?
you guys can become farmers.
Building completed.
There may well have been a bug in 0.3.4 where you would find that farmers were standing around. That has also been fixed for 0.3.5. And of course the new the fields approach, where it's in quadrants, is also changed. And in the latest build, again, it's a shame that it wasn't working quite right. In this build, you'll see that the collectibles, so these stacks of wheat bushels, weren't highlighting, but they are now apparently in the latest build. So we'll leave them to get on with the fields. Let's see what's going on. Not enough food, but it's okay. Happiness is still pretty good. We should probably find a spare villager. Let's make an extra fisher. So standing around, you're going to go and fish. I want to make sure that we haven't got a bug here. Alright, there it goes. Fishing.
What
I'm not quite sure why they don't do it straight away. Aaron, maybe you could look into that, so that when you train somebody, they should really be able to find work immediately if a work point is available for them. Alright, so we're fine. A little bit of food, not loads though. Right, we've got flour. I think we picked that up off the bandits because they're giving loot that's not... for some reason it's not matching their loot profile at the moment, so let's go ahead and
Not enough
build a
stone
bakery,
blocks.
for which we need 100 stone. I'll just go back there again, so I can see that I need 100 stone. So let's find
All
let's
right, my
get
love.
you.
Okay.
There's a pile of stone there. Press the F key to find the next idle
How
villager.
can I help? Something to do?
And she's going to eat. So once she's finished eating, I want to make sure she gets that food down. We will send Jasmine Roundtree to go and get some stone as well. It was 110, wasn't it? And we only need 100, so we should be getting that shortly.
Yes,
When
Petal.
Matilda has finished. Maybe there's no work point now because there are like 1, 2, 3, and there's obviously the other side. I don't know if they're workable or not, but there are definitely plenty within range. We've only got 3 workers, unless some aren't reachable. No, she's
Yes, my dear.
she's going fishing. Looks like Millicent's going to this one here, so yeah, it's just something to look into. Okay, how are we doing? Right, this field is being worked right now. Did I actually build? I didn't go ahead and build one yet, did I? So let's go ahead and build our bakery. Put that reasonably close to the centre of town. There we go.
A woman's work
You
is
stop
never
what you're
done.
doing.
Yes, my dear.
You go and help as well. Forget about food,
Help
and
me.
you.
All right, my love.
Ismay was adamant that she wanted some food, so we'll leave her to it. Jade, shall I put my fisher's hut across the river on the island? Reaches a lot of fishing points. On this bit here. Yeah, presumably.
A building has
Yeah,
been
I like to
constructed.
keep... I do put a building there later on usually. Okay, so
Yes, my dear.
let's go ahead, get a
Yes,
couple of
my dear.
bakers trained
Can I
up.
see your papers?
And they
How
should
can I help? Yes, my dear.
start to go and get flour, so they'll come over to if there's actually there's probably enough flour in the supply wagon, so Matilda, who's now a baker, will probably go over to the supply wagon and carry it to the bakery. So let's go ahead and look at the bakery. I've changed that now so that we can probably monitor this. Obviously they've got plenty of flour, so they've been working already. Oh, they've eaten all the food already. It looks like so 1 sack of
Villagers
flour
think our town
produces
sucks
2
and are leaving.
loaves of bread. And hopefully now we should start not enough food. Quite a lot of food problems at the moment. I've got to watch that the population don't leave. Now normally I would, in the new version I'd be getting an extra happiness bonus for that. What I will do is I can speed up production by hiring some more bakers, so let's do that. Let's get a second on the go. Where can I trim a few? Let's just trim down
Something to do?
the woodcutters. And reassign those to bakers. And that should make production faster. Yeah, so production is a lot faster now. And so we should see that more bread starts to come into the store. Yep, and if I go here, you'll see that we've managed to resolve our food crisis. And we're away. Now, mead and clothing aren't yet enabled. I think we probably need to remove the red bar because they're not enabled. Probably a bit misleading. In the latest patch, these have also changed order because you're more likely to go for clothing next to mead. Alright, so we are in. Get rid of those. Still not enough food. Alright, population. We're about to get more population. Flour, we've got plenty of flour. I suppose extra farmers could help, but they might end up clearing. Let's see
New
if we can
villagers
get an
have
extra
arrived.
flour. I suspect that some of our farmers left. I haven't got my headphones on, so I can't hear the sound. So I'm not getting the warnings about people leaving. Obviously, we need to make sure that the game can be played with no sound so that it's accessible. So we need an on-screen notification of that. Yeah, I lost a farmer. Yeah, I thought so. All right, so we're now in good stead. So let's get this hunting lodge coming online. How are we doing on food? I probably want to build up a little bit of a supply, so I'm going to actually halve their rations. I'm still reasonably alright because I've got the bonus from the variety of food, so we can get away with that for a little while. What I will also do is I'll go ahead and complete some research. So let's go ahead and research grinding, and that should give us a small production boost as well. And actually, let's do a lot. Well, we've got 400, so let's go ahead and do our first piece of research in the windmill. There's a notification about about villagers leaving. Right, okay. I didn't see it. Okay, let's go ahead now and build another cottage. I think I'm ready for the next leap forward. I do like them to be close to the woodcutter's hut because of firewood.
What now?
Okay, Bruce, finish delivering your firewood and then go and help with constructing a new cottage. Oh right, look, yeah, they're making short work of that now, so they're carrying the carrots. They should actually be carrying a basket of carrots, which may well have been changed in the latest build. So rather than carrying a carrot, they should be carrying the basket that was on the floor. That field is being prepared, and that one's ready to be cut. So how are we doing? Oh, flour is running out pronto. Because the production of flour has been reduced, so now I think each bushel, and we'll see once Alvin finishes
Construction completed.
reaping this corner of the field, we'll get to look at a number of bushels. Now, Alvin is a level 2 farmer, so he should produce 3 bushels of wheat from this. So let's keep an eye on him.
You get back in formation.
Okay, yes, we've got one on his back, and then we've got 2 more. This is what I meant about the collectibles not highlighting. So these should highlight, so I could send anybody to go and pick these up. Well, not anybody, peasants or other farmers if I want to prioritise something. But they weren't highlighting in this build, but they're meant to highlight in the latest build. And he's also carrying the wrong thing on his shoulder. He should be carrying a bushel of wheat. So that is another setting that needs changing. Let's have a look how we're doing. Plenty of bread, but not much in the way of flour, so we need to get those. Because we had a big bonus at the start, didn't we, from the 50 flour that we got off that bandit, so that's definitely going to help. Let's have a check in on happiness. Yeah, happiness actually got slightly better because of the extra variety, so now we should... Let's lower the tax rate as well, and then our rate of progress towards population expansion should increase. There was a question about how will that be addressed in the future, by the way. Will cottagers have to
New settlers have arrived.
Will cottagers have to go to woodcutter's hut to get their firewood? So I mean, peasants go to either the woodcutter's hut or the a storehouse or supply wagon, depending on where physically the firewood is located. But yeah, they do that at the moment. They will actually go and get the firewood. Right, so I wanted to bring our hunting lodge online, so let's do that. Get our first hunter going. Actually, we've probably got
Our
various
village has
meats.
attracted new settlers.
Now, if I didn't want to
Your
bother with
orders.
hunters just yet, then I could actually go out and
Mine
find
is to obey.
some
work is
of
never
the
done.
boar. In fact, there's one right there.
They shall not pass!
So we'll go ahead and let them take care of those boar. And then you see we get some meat.
Your
Just move
wish.
those back.
Be right there, darling.
Double time.
Okay, so to go with the hunting lodge, I need a butcher and I need 40 more iron for that. So it may well be time to bring the blacksmith online. So let's go ahead. And we need quite a lot of stone for that. So why don't we go ahead and bring the stone cutter and the quarry online. There we go. Good. So we've got plenty of woodcutters. Plenty of peasants that we can turn into stone cutters. How are we doing on food? Lots and lots of. Okay, great. So our 3 fishermen, because they're becoming happier, they're becoming more efficient, so their output is increasing. So if I actually go ahead, they
A
should be doing
building has been constructed.
production fairly quickly as well, which they are, and I think they get that's 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 7 at the moment. So I think there's a maximum of 4. Yeah, there we go. Maximum of 4 output, and because they're 85% efficient, they're actually producing 3. It's rounded down, but yeah, we've got no problem. Actually, we can probably bring rationing back online so they're all happy. I can probably bring taxes up just to soak up some of that additional happiness. Can't have them being too happy after all. And they should have finished.
Yep.
Yeah, they have. They finished our Stonecutter's Lodge. So let's set those to work. We need quite a lot of stone. So we'll set 3 to work, and we'll also invest some of that stone in
Not enough gold. Our
Oh, I can't
coffers
do
need
that yet.
topping up
Can't
before we can do that.
gold 'cause I don't have enough
The
gold.
treasury is a bit light at
Alright.
the moment.
That's all
We're
right.
broke. Best find a way to earn some gold. Selling more finished
Aaron,
goods
can
to
we,
our villagers would help
like,
swell the
just
cost.
have 1 gold icon for the cottage, please. I think it's in the. I'm not sure it's in the current sprint, but it's definitely in the product backlog. Just reduce a little bit of the UI clutter. Alright, what are we getting a warning about? Firewood, really? Oh crikey, yeah, okay. Go on rations for firewood. Reduce the tax rate down to 0. And one thing I've noticed actually as well is that it's a question that we need to answer internally is, should they prioritise planting new fields because there's a growing time, or should they prioritise collection? I guess it would depend on whether you've got a food crisis or not. So if you are short of food, they should probably prioritise harvesting, and if you haven't, then they perhaps should prioritise planting so that it's a better critical path. Okay, so we'll give that firewood. So because we reduced it down to just 1 woodcutter, we're probably not making enough wood, so maybe let's go ahead and assign Tricky Fairweather to become a woodcutter, and that should sort out our wood problem. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, things are definitely starting to go wrong. Alright, well let's bring firewood back online. Maybe hire another let's go ahead and get another. Are they working over here? And what I will do is I'll go ahead. When these guys are about to deliver, and I will reward them. We should get a happiness bonus from that.
My wife complains I'm
It's
staring
50 gold per worker. So I'll give them the reward. Now that actually shows up in our calculation for our happiness. And not quite. Alright, it looks like they're all hungry, so they're all going to eat. Oh, not enough basic clothing. Oh, right, okay. I wasn't listening to that, so I guess that the need for basic clothing has come online. We are going to have to be fairly quick about this. So let's. We haven't got enough stone. Maybe it's time to go and get that.
I stand ready.
Oh, we've already had that. Someone's picked that up. Alright, they're going back to work. I do need my weavers to come online. This could become a problem. I'm gonna have to. This is just going to eat away at my firewood. Have we got the option to increase that? Nope. I could have, because I've been too busy talking. I didn't hear about the fire or the need for clothes, and now I'm in a little bit of a problem. Yeah. Yeah, it's starting. They're starting to get very angry. I think actually in the latest build we've slowed that down as well, so there is a bit more of a grace period. And of course what will come in the future is once you've got, you can see it says 5 villagers are really angry, then you've got the start of revolt and they might start setting fire to things, which is a real problem because that's going to impact the rest of your economy. So
Villagers are
you
packing
really
their
don't want to get
bags
on the
and
wrong
leaving.
side of your workers. I don't really know what I'm going to do here because I haven't got it. Alright, I've got enough now. Quick. Let's demote you, and you can. It's a little bit of an emergency now because they've got plenty of fish to be going at. We're still okay. Could really do with some people in, couldn't I? One person is not enough. I'm going to need stone for my tailors. Oh no, we're okay. 50. That shouldn't take too long. Oh no. They left. They all left. Oh no, oh no, oh no. This is a problem.
Building completed.
Hey, Jerome.
Ready for duty.
Right. This be a problem. Alright, well actually that's not too bad. Definitely not happy about the lack of clothing, are they? Right, the Weaver's Hut is nearly up and running. And one of these can be trained
Construction
as a
completed.
weaver.
A building has been constructed.
And I think what I will do
How can I help?
is we'll also train you as a weaver, and
Nothing to see here.
I think I might actually sacrifice one of my military.
Yes, my dear?
It's a bit of a shame, but oh well. I now have no military units, so it's all down to Sir Gregory to defend me. That's the first time I've ever done that, but then it is the first time I've been in this situation. Clothing. No. I don't know. They're not going to get it anyway, so. Alright, City Watch sent reinforcements. Brilliant. Oh, well, that was very generous of them.
How can I help?
Let's go ahead and use those as well. We shall recover from this problem.
Ready.
At your command.
Okay, so our cotton fields are growing. Oh, it's just slow rot down into hatred. Oh dear. Now I don't know if I can cheat, because I mean, what if I actually say no, you can't have any? Presumably, then they will. If I'm rushing it, I wonder if this will go down because they're then. No, because I don't actually have any basic clothing, do I? That's why they're getting angry. -5. That's going to be going down really quickly. Oh dear Lord. 18. What if we shove it up to max? I don't know. They can't really get any. I think this is there's something to bear in mind. There was potentially a bit of a cheat there, so we need to think that through. Make sure that there is an implication for doing that. Or perhaps you can't increase rations beyond what you've actually got. So given that I have none, so maybe your rations should be capped. Okay, come on. Where's that other military guy?
Something to do?
We've still not got enough stone, have we? Oh. Come, get back to work, you guys. Alright, okay, here comes our first cotton. Now, cotton has changed as well. So, it's now 1-to-1 relationship. So, 1 basket of cotton heads should produce... Yeah, 1 bolt of cotton. So, we're at least getting that in there now. How are we doing? Still barely clinging on to our peasants and population and keeping the village going. Okay. I really need to recover from this. How are they doing? Are they getting more stone? Alright, now they're coming in. If I had a marketplace, of course that would help. Let me think what else could help. Oh, what? Not enough food? Oh, this is definitely over now.
Another villager has abandoned our town.
Really? With 100? I'm not sure it should be saying not enough food when I've got 86. Oh, look, it's going down rather quickly. Let's keep at it. Let's keep at it. 54. We've got enough to build our tailors. Let's get it down. Get it built.
Villagers are starting to leave in droves. We should do something.
You go and help with that. How are we doing? Fish is still holding together. It's about the only thing holding us up. Oh, we've lost more. We've lost more. This is... Yeah, all the stone cutters have gone. So it's totally doable because I've played, I've played so much in the last week that I've got much further than this. So I think it's probably because I've not got my headphones on and I'm not listening to the audio cues.
Building completed.
All right, so right.
How can I help? Yes, my dear?
Make me some clothes.
Something to do?
You make me some clothes. Forget about bread. Oh god, they're all leaving. It's game over. Oh no, no, we're alright. We've sustained. We have sustained ourselves. Are we producing clothing? Let's see. None in this building. But do we have... I think she's gone to get some. She has. She's just dropped off. Alright. Come on. We can recover from this. Here we go. Basic clothing. Oh yeah! Alright, I think we'll recover. Let's see, what have we got? Still got plenty of fish, plenty of bread. So let's increase that up, and we should start to see, yeah, you see, population going to recover fairly quickly. So that was a bit of a
Settlers have arrived looking for a
shock,
fresh
supply
start.
shock to the economy, and we've managed to pull out of it. We are now expanding again. Well, there's not much I can just chill out a little bit about the clothing. All right, it's got to grow. Maybe we can get one more worker. Oh, we can get lots
Our
of workers.
village has attracted new
There we go.
settlers.
Set to work. Let's get a massive influx of bolts of cotton. I'm not gonna let you die, goddammit! Oh, her basket was empty for some reason. Why are their baskets empty? I think that's the wrong prop. All right.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
So 5. Here
Yes,
we
my
come.
dear?
Here comes Ismay, our tailor, our level 3 tailor. She is going to drop off some bolts of cotton, and they're going to start getting made into more basic clothing. Here they come. Oh, feel the supplies flow. Good. Don't seem to have had any fish deliveries in a while.
New settlers have arrived.
Ago.
Yep.
You. Go ahead.
What
You.
now?
Let's get the fish supplies back up. Any more? They're all running. Probably need to get
All right, my love.
our bakers back up and running. You, I think, can go ahead. Oh dear, the farm. We need a farm.
New villagers have arrived.
We're back up to 2020 population again now. They must be positively ecstatic. Alright, well let's knock them down a peg or two in terms of clothing, given that we're just not able to manufacture it quickly enough. Yeah, so we've got 3 farmers, 1 baker who's
Yes,
waiting
madam.
on some wheat, presumably. Oh, just had a supply of flour. Sorry, on flour. Oh, she just bought some bread. I think she'll go and collect. She will soon go and collect some of that flour once she decides to. Oh no, she's going to get basic clothing. Alright, well, I shan't deny it you. You've been without in those shabby clothes for long enough.
Yes, my dear?
What have we got? 2 tailors, 4 weavers, 1 baker, and no woodcutters. That means we have a fire problem. Firewood. You also go and chop
Yes,
some
madam.
wood, and let's see, when you get back, you can be a baker as well. Alright. Oh, not enough food and not enough basic clothing. Well, we know about that. But our generous food, well, our generous firewood is offsetting it. Although we don't seem to have got any firewood, though that's a problem, and it's starting to come in now. So let's go into conversion, so crafting, conversion, firewood. Let's just burn all of that wood and chop it into firewood. That should help somewhat. However, -3. No, I don't know. More generous. Not enough food, not enough firewood, not enough basic clothing. Oh, there is no rest. No rest.
All right, my love.
Well, let's have a look what we've got. We've got some fish coming in. Maybe we could go and get some berries.
Something to do? Right away.
Rose, you can go. And
Yes,
you,
dear.
Matilda,
All right,
you can
dear.
go. Help forage as well. Have we got any others? Yes, we do. Sybil is not doing a great deal either. So
A woman's
Sybil, you
work
can
is
also
never
go
done.
forage. Help out on the food front. Oh, come on. Well, I don't want to turn... I suppose I could turn rations down. I don't... On the food front. It should start to cancel out. I was basically unable to deliver on my promises to supply them with such a vast quantity of firewood.
Uptown folks with their fancy sandals.
Oh, it's...
What have you done? Villagers are deserting.
We are getting firewood now, though. I think we can afford to increase that up and decrease the rate of decline. Food is a little bit of a problem. What we really need is to get the butchery on. Need what? How much? Another 50 iron. Can't really spare anybody at the moment. Nor is there any iron nearby, really.
Right away.
Oh, let's set you to work.
Another villager has abandoned our town.
So firewood is picking up because I've basically converted a lot of planks into firewood. It's basic clothing again. It's not... just not getting enough bolts in, am I? Where all my workers gone? Yes, get to work.
Villagers are leaving.
Oh, they're left. They're all abandoned. Here we go again. Alright, so had I not suffered that first shock and maybe built the... anticipated the need for clothing a little bit sooner, then I wouldn't have been... had that big problem. But it is recoverable from. And I think that's the main story to tell. And it's also a challenge as well. And we shall continue to tweak some of these values. But yeah, if you guys can, when we release 0.3.5, which we will be doing in the next few days, hopefully.
Villagers are
then,
starting to leave in droves.
Give it a
We
play.
should do
I've
something.
obviously balanced it to what I think is reasonable. If you're finding it too difficult or too easy, then please let us know in the Steam forum. And then, we can look at the overall response from people who tested it to see whether we've hit the right level of difficulty or not. Okay, well now they're all right with clothing. Why are they all right with clothing all of a sudden? 'Cause production's starting to flow now. Not a great deal, I think. Still being very generous with firewood, but it is keeping them happy. So while that is, I don't know, probably going to descend into absolute anarchy. Still producing fish and clothing and. So from this position, actually, I should be able to recover without too much of a problem because I've got plenty of food. I've got clothing production is happening. I've got 3 bolts. They are, for some reason...
Yes, my dear?
Going to get food.
Something to do?
Okay, so I will check to make sure that there's enough of a grace period because that did descend rather quickly into oh, and of course
Our town is under
just
attack.
as we were getting a economic shock, a bunch of spiders decide to come along.
How can I help?
Thankfully, Jasmine may survive this as long as she can kick the poison. I don't know, poison may well take her out. Yep, she's succumbed to poison. Yeah, so it's self-balancing really in that, I mean, if I actually just set these to reasonable levels, given that our population is kind of small, I mean, I could stop the population explosion and manage it a lot more. I could actually destroy one of my cottages, is one option. Let's actually grab Sir Gregor and go and take
By
care
your
of
leave.
this.
For honor!
Done that. Okay. Oh, it looks like we've got another spider over there because we've been spending too long on. Because I got rid of all my military as well. Oh dear. I guess Sir Gregor is about to die as well. So that was interesting. That was not such a successful session, that was it? I failed quite miserably at that and never did fully recover from our economic shock that happened. We may lessen that decline into all-out hatred of your leadership to give you a better chance of that. But yeah, I mean, if you experience that and you can't find a way out of it, you know, play a few times, and if you can't find where you were going wrong and there's a problem, or you think there's a problem, then let us know about it. And if we hear the same sort of recurring theme happening, then we know that there's potentially a problem, just like that we've had in the past, you know. So communities told us about firewood issues, sapling planting, those sorts of things, and we're able to do something about it then. So. Okay. Well, we've still got six folks left, and they should, in theory, be still making clothing.
How can I help?
Matilda is going to get some cloth, so that's happening. I just didn't have the successful blend of workers that I needed to progress further on that. Oh well. Alright, so if you guys have got any questions, then feel free to ask away in chat, and we'll take a look at some of those. Otherwise, I'm just going to let this tick over and see what happens. Just going to monitor happiness.
They're attacking our buildings.
I think you can probably go ahead.
Training this person will leave you without
You can't,
any
because of
peasants.
the last one. Okay. Alright, well, that's a good place to wrap up the stream. As I say, 0.3.5 will be out hopefully within the next few days or so. That is to the experimental build. If you need details on how to access that, then jump into the Steam Community Forum. There is a pinned topic in the main discussion with details. It's just a beta opt-in. Okay, otherwise, let us know your feedback, and we will see you after 0.3.5. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope you enjoy some of the changes that we are making, and hopefully they are improving the game. Getting rid of needs and adopting this overall happiness, it brings a lot more transparency, so we know what's going on, and we can actually put in we can use tactics and strategies to actually address some of the problems that are going on. Which is a big improvement. Too bad I have sound turned off. Is it not coming through again? Oh, I do hope all the stream wasn't without sound. Oh well. Okay, alright guys. Catch you later. Bye bye.